Over the past few weeks in the CS market, we've seen the largest crash as well as the largest rebound in market history. We're currently sitting at a market cap of $5.3 billion, currently down about 11.6% from that all-time high. In the past 24 hours, we're up 1.49%. This massive recovery back in the CS market might not be how it actually seems, however. We have received confirmation from Price Empire that the market cap tracking is currently inaccurate. What this inaccuracy means to the overall market cap: every 5 covert items that people are using for trade ups to trade up into a knife should be wiped off the overall market cap. However, it's not tracking that accurately, meaning when you do get a new knife, the knife is added to the overall market cap with its value. However, the 5 covert items are not removed. Because of this, we're highly inflated with the overall market cap of the CS market. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the best investing opportunities you can make right now in CS2. Even with the market looking like it's rebounding highly, I definitely think we are still at a low point in the market, and there's still some great buying opportunities at the current price points. One of my main focuses currently in the CS market will be some items in the armory. When we take a look at CS ROI, we can see the unboxing ROI on a lot of these items are over 100% once again. Some of those top ones are the elemental craft stickers at 147%. We have the small arms charms at 144%, the missing links charms at 141%, as well as the sport and field at 140.6%. We also need to keep in mind all 4 of these items that I did mention were all added at the original date that the armory was created in CS2. Because of this, I can assume that at least 1 or 2 of these items will be removed in the next probably 6 months when they add new items to the armory. Because of this, we should see an instant double in price on a lot of these items depending what you're picking up. My main focus, however, from the armory is currently the elemental craft stickers. There's a few items from this collection that I personally am heavily investing into right now. The first one being the high heat sticker. I definitely think this is great for budget combos or any budget deagle blazes. This is definitely a great sticker craft that you can use in the future, and because of this is one of the most applied stickers from this collection. Alongside the high heat, some of the other stickers I'm picking up from this collection will be the scorch loop. We also have the reverse scorch loop, and then when we head over to some of the pinks here, we have the bolt strike foil as well as the bolt charge foil, and the final item that I'm currently picking up from this collection will be the winding scorch foil. These are all some definitely great applied stickers in CS2, and I think the price will rise when these are removed from the CS armory. Another place I'm heavily investing right now in CS2 is related to the glove case. We have a few different options on where we want to invest our money with this case. However, a lot of people are trying to trade up to a lot of these gloves in this collection due to the rarity and price of these items. The easiest option to invest into this case is simply buying the case and holding it for the long term. As a lot of people are trying to trade up to the gloves from this collection, people will continue to buy these cases, opening them, trying to get any of those covert items. However, even if they hit any mil specs or restricteds, they can trade those up and chain them into some of those covert items, which they then can use to trade up to some of those higher tier gloves. When we take a look at the current prices on this case, we can see right before the crash, it was sitting around that $16 mark. It did crash down to that all-time low in the past month of around $7.33. However, since then it has recovered in price back to around that $16 mark. I definitely think this will skyrocket a lot higher in the next few months when a lot of those covert items are used up for these trade ups. Looking at one of the 2 covert items from this collection, we have the M4A4 Buzzkill in field tested condition. When we take a look at the overall month graph here, we can see it's continued to trend upward over the past few weeks. At the start of October, it was sitting at around $44. We did have some price manipulation in the market, which did shoot it up to around $117. However, since the trade-ups were now available later at the end of October, we can see the prices continue to go up over the past few weeks, currently sitting at $618. Taking a look at another item from the glove collection, this is a restricted item, so this means it would need to be traded up to classified and then again to coverts before you can even trade it up to any of the gloves from this collection. However, when we take a look at the price chart here for the past month, once again, we can see it continued to increase in price over the past few weeks. Prior to this update, it was sitting under $1, and today we're currently sitting at around $5.70. This is a massive growth in the past few weeks, and I definitely think we'll continue to see this with the glove collection. While we continue to see coverts hit those all-time highs every single week, and a lot of items in this collection continue to rise following those covert items, even some of those restricted or mil-spec items, I definitely think a lot more people will start to open these glove cases, and the prices will skyrocket, as a lot of people will be trying to get any item from this collection to trade up into any pair of gloves. This case has some of those highest tier gloves right now in CS2, being the Pandora boxes, the Arids, the superconductors, the hedge mazes, we have the crimson kimonos, we have the emerald webs, the cool mints, as well as the spear mints. This case is loaded with some of those highest tier gloves in CS2, and a lot of people will be chasing after these items for the next few years. The final place I'm investing money into right now in CS2 is covert items in general. I definitely think even with current prices, they are still undervalued, and by the end of the year, I definitely think we will continue to see them increase in price over the next few months. I personally am picking up any of the covert items at the cheapest prices you can find right now. I personally am buying them on third-party sites, as you can get them a little cheaper compared to the Steam market. However, if you are buying any covert skins, make sure you're not picking up any stat track versions from any collection that does trade up to gloves. Because of this, you won't be able to use them to trade up, so only pick up coverts if they're from collections that can trade up to a knife. If they trade up to gloves, do not pick them up in a stat track version. However, pick up any of the cheapest coverts for any of the main collections that people are chasing, being the butterflies, the gamma dopplers, the karambits, any of those top tier knives. Look at any of the collections and pick up the cheapest covert items. Before picking up any covert items, I would also look at any of the case unboxing numbers over the past few months. This will show you what items a lot of people are chasing after. However, do not look at the past 30 days, as these are very inaccurate due to the trade-ups that were added to CS2. I would highly recommend going back and looking at the history and searching any of the previous months earlier in this year to see what items were the most unboxed. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of the main items I'm picking up right now in CS2. I definitely think there's still some great buying opportunities in the market, even with the prices continuing to go up over the past few weeks. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.